Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to workout, take-home workout number 5. I held up the right number this time with my hand, so good job for me. I definitely changed my hair so there's a little bit of variety between the last 2 videos because I'm definitely filming them not all at the same time. So let's go ahead and get into the warm-up. Our warm-up is going to be toe jumps, so we're going to be doing this for 1 minute. So toe jumps is basically you're just going to be focusing on activating the calves, and we're just going to be jumping from the feet. So try to keep the knees pretty much, like, not super straight, but like we're not bending with the full leg. We're not getting a full jump yet. So we're just going to be doing toe jumps. So you're just going to be using the balls of your feet to push off. And you're going to do that for a full minute. Next thing you're going to do is single leg jumps. We're going to do 30 seconds on each leg, so it'll be a minute total. So single leg jumps, it's just one leg and then jump, jump, jump. And these might be a little slower or they might be a little faster, depending on who you are. Try and keep the leg bent just a little bit. Don't lock them out. You can use the full leg of motion for this. 30 seconds on each side. Next thing you're gonna do is butt kickers. So you can put your hands kind of behind your back if you want like a target to hit. And you're just gonna be jogging and swinging those feet back behind you. And you're gonna do that for 1 minute. Next you're gonna do flutter kicks. We're doing this for 30 seconds. I think that was the right direction. Flutter kicks, we're just gonna be doing those nice and low to the ground. If you think about kind of like knee height, and you're just gonna kind of throw out the leg. Just back and forth, alternating for 30 seconds. The faster you go, obviously the harder it is, so adjust as needed. And then our last thing we're gonna do is gonna be some kind of low level front kicks. We're gonna be doing 20 on each side. There'll be 2 variations for this. So the first one is kind of just an alternating standing in place version, where we set the leg down in between each one, and you just kind of throw out the kick at like hip level. The second version is alternating, or you can do a double bounce. Whichever one suits your fancy, or you can switch between all 3 of them as you go through. 20 kicks on each leg, or 40 going back and forth. Okay, so for our stretches this week, we're going to be doing our normal hip flexor routine, half splits, and then some additional stretches. So let's go ahead and get into that hip flexor. Hold it for 15. Rotate that back foot down for 15. Knee down. This time we're going to reach back, grab your foot, and then push forward just a little bit. Hold that for 15. And then hip and hamstring for 15. From here, we're going to do our half split stretching. So go ahead and get down on one knee, stick the other leg out, put it forward, and hold that for 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds, take a break, and then go on for your second round of 30 seconds on that leg, and then switch sides. Next one you're going to do is from here. You're going to get nice and low to the ground, and you're going to do an Achilles stretch right here. So what you're going to do is basically kind of lean forward as far as you can onto that front knee, and then kind of come back and rock back into it. The goal is to keep that heel flat on the ground and push your knee as far over your foot as you can. So as far forward as you can, and come back and go back into it. And each time you do it, hold it for a couple seconds. You're gonna do like 15 reps on each side. For our last 3 stretches, you're gonna need something to elevate your feet. I have 2 blocks. I only need 1 block. You can use some books. You have a stair or a step, that might work too. We're gonna do heels elevated pike stretch, and then our toes elevated, and then flat foot. So from here, go and put your heels up and stretch forward. You're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. And for the next one, toes are gonna be up. Hold that for 30 seconds as you bend down. And then the third version, flat feet on the floor, and stretch down. And that is for 30 seconds too. Okay, now we're on to the strength section. So we're going to be doing 3 sets of the following 3 exercises: push-ups, calf raises, and elevated squats. I actually need that block I just kicked out. But anyway, so first thing you're going to do 15 push-ups. I don't think I need to demonstrate those because I feel like it's we know how to do those by this point. The next thing you're going to do is calf raises. You can do these on an elevated step or a surface. You can also do them flat on the ground. All you're going to do for calf raises is nice and slow. We're going to do 20 reps. You're going to lift up as slow as you can and back down. You want to try and do it with as much control as possible, so the slower you can go, the better. If you do these on a block or some hooks or on the edge of a step, you'll just have your heels hanging off the edge, and then you'll come up and back down, and you'll let your heels sink as low as you can while still balancing. So all the way up and all the way back down is 1 rep. You're going to go ahead and do 20. The last thing you're going to do for the strength section is some elevated squats. So again, off of some hooks or a step, or if you have a block, we're going to be here. Both legs are going to have your heels elevated. Don't fall down like I did. And from here, you're going to squat down as far as down as you can go, and then back up. All the way down and back up. You're going to do 10 reps. And then once you've done that, go ahead and repeat those exercises 2 more times through the set. Okay, so for your second set of strength training, we're going to do some hand technique, strength stuff. So basically you're going to do inward fist snaps and then outward fist snaps. We're going to do 30 reps of each one, so a total of 30 in and 30 out, and then another set of those. Which is a lot. So for the inward fist snaps, you're going to start with your palms facing away from you, and when you snap, you're going to have your hands kind of already in a half tight fist, and when you snap, you're going to rotate so that your palms face towards you, and you're going to tighten your hand at the same time. So you're going to start half closed and tighten, and then you're going to do these. You want to do them fairly quickly. The slower you go, the less intense they're going to be. So if you can do them pretty quickly, that's great. You're going to do 30. As you're doing these, really focus on making sure that you tighten your hands really well, and then you have a strong kind of snap motion as you do it. This will really help your hand techniques for Poomsae and punching for sparring. Once you've done 30, we're going to go ahead and do outward. So it's going to be basically the reverse of what you did. So you're going to start with your palms facing towards you, half closed, and then you're going to snap so that your hands are facing outward. So you're going to go here and snap outward. So same thing, really focus on getting a tight fist every time you snap, and you're going to do 30 reps. And then once you've done that, shake out the hands and then do a second set. Okay, for the technique section, we're going to do same thing we did last week of a little bit of review of your combinations and counters, and then we'll throw in something new today. So for combination review, we're going to be doing a cut kick, rear leg roundhouse kick as your first one. So if you don't remember we're in guarding stance, we're bouncing, front leg will come up, cut kick, rear leg roundhouse kick. If you don't know how to do that technique, go ahead and watch last week's video to get the full tutorial on those techniques, since this is the review week. For your second combination, you're going to be doing rear leg roundhouse kick, slide back, rear leg roundhouse kick. So from here, rear leg comes up, roundhouse kick, put it down, slide back. You can do double slide or rear leg slide, and throw that rear leg kick. So one more time, rear leg kick, set it down, slide back, rear leg kick. Both of those combinations, do them 5 times on each side. To review your counters, we're going to be doing the same thing of 5 times on each side. Your first one is side step, rear leg roundhouse kick. So remember guarding stance, side step, rear leg roundhouse kick. Or if you move with the back leg first, side step, rear leg roundhouse kick. You're going to be doing 5 reps on each side. So 5 reps with right leg kicking, 5 reps with your left leg kicking, and you can kind of just like, as long as you switch, if you're moving to your right versus your left side, that's fine. Your next one is going to be a switch step rear leg roundhouse kick. So you're going to be here, feet bouncing, switch, rear leg roundhouse kick. So one more time, switch, rear leg roundhouse kick. And same thing, if you're unclear about how to do those, go ahead and watch last week's video for a more in-depth tutorial. And then your other alternate review counter is with a retreating kick. Remember, this is to use if you're up too close to somebody and you want to make that space without having to push or punch, or if you're throwing another combination and you want to do something on your way out. It's a retreating kick, so you're going to be here, jump back, and rear leg kick. Jump back, rear leg kick. Same thing, 5 times on each side. All right, so for the kind of like end of the sparring section for this video, we're going to be doing shadow sparring. Shadow sparring, all you're going to do is pretend you're in a match, pretend you're sparring someone, use the combinations and the techniques and the counters that we've been working on, practicing your footwork. So if you kind of want to tape out like an area that you might want to use, or if you're in your room and you can already have like kind of borders of like where you're allowed to move, focus on moving around that whole ring, throwing different kicks, moving out of the way, changing up combinations. What would you do if someone threw a kick? What counter would you do? And you're going to be doing 3 rounds of 1 minute, so it's going to be mimicking a sparring match. So you'll do 1 minute of shadow sparring, 30-second break. 1 minute of shadow sparring, another 30-second break, and then finish up with that last minute. Don't take a break in between the minute and the 30-second breaks. Try and go through the whole thing as if it was a real sparring match. So 1 minute of sparring, then you have your break. 1 minute of sparring, then you have your 30-second break, and then finish that 1 minute. Try not to take any pauses in that 1 minute since you do get the breaks. Okay, this week's Poomsae homework assignment. Everyone should know Taeguk 1 at this point, so go ahead and practice that a couple times, run through it. If you're a little unclear about some of the moves, watch previous videos for different sections of tutorial. There's also a full form linked in the description you can watch as well. So go ahead and run through that one, and then let's move on to Taeguk 2, or Taeguk Ijam, and we're going to do the first 6 moves of those, and I'll also have the full form linked in the description as well, in case you want to work ahead. So let's get started. Remember, I'll be mirroring you, so I will be going the same direction as you, roughly. So let's start from Chunbi. So first thing, it's going to start as the same first move as Taeguk Iljan, walking stance, low block. Where it's different is now, on the second move, we're going to step to a front stance, middle punch, instead of a walking stance. And then we're going to do a long turn, front leg, takes up, all the way to the other side, low block. Step forward, front stance, middle punch. Then from here, front leg, we'll step forward, walking stance, inside block with your right hand. So it's going to be opposite arm and opposite leg. And then step forward, one more time. Let's go through that one more time. So from here, Chunbi, walking stance to your left, low block. Step forward, punch with your right hand. Then take that right leg all the way around to the other side, walking stance, low block with your right hand. Step forward, punch with the left. From here, take your left leg, walking stance to the front, inside block with your right. So reverse inside block since it's opposite arm, opposite leg. And then step forward, one more time. When you're doing inside blocks, make sure that you start on the outside of your body, your hand faces away from you instead of towards you. And when you go here, you bring it around to land in front of you. You want your hand to be shoulder height and in the center of your body. And we want to have a good amount of bend in the arm. We don't want it to be super straight out because then it's more of a strike. And the point of a block is that we have coverage to say if someone was punching at me, I'm able to hit it out of the way versus if my arm is straight out, I have a lot less arm to hit with. So here, and we stop. So your other task, you'll be reviewing inside block just a little bit as we move forward for that form. Taeguk 3 kiddos, we're going to be talking about starting and stopping in the same place. So when you're doing sport poomsae, it's really important to start and stop in the same place. And this can apply for our kiddos doing the white and yellow belt forms as well. If you go to competition, you'll be graded on if you start here, but you finish your form an entire square away, that means you're doing your stances wrong. And so they'll take that into account when they're judging your score. So it's important to try and start and stop in roughly the same place or one of your feet lengths, kind of like circle distance from your starting point. So when you're doing your form, as you go through Taguk 3 or any of your forms, you can practice this on all of them, and I would highly advise you to do so, is as you walk through the form, double check every single stance. Don't even worry about your hand techniques, focus on just the footwork. So when you start from Chimbi for let's say Taguk 3, you start from Chimbi, make sure that your Chimbi is one of your feet lengths wide and your feet are pointing forward. And when you step into that first walking stance, make sure you pivot on the ball of your foot and that your walking stance is the right length and the right width. And you kick and step it into that front stance. Double check that your front stance isn't too long or too short or too wide or too narrow. And walk through your form and really measure out okay, my walking stance, we turn a little bit and it's 1, 2 of my feet. Front stance, it's 3 feet long, right? Walk through the entire form doing just the footwork, see how close you can get to starting and stopping in the same place, and then try it one time, maybe the first time, doing it how you normally do, and see if you can find the difference. All right, so for our cool down, we're just going to be doing our normal straddle stretch kind of routine, plus a seated pike stretch today. So go ahead and sit in that straddle. You're going to stretch to the center, the left, the right, and the center one more time, 15 seconds each time. For the last stretch, you're going to be in a seated pike stretch, so we're going to be having our legs out straight, and we're going to do a couple variations. First, you're going to kind of have the knees come up a little, and you're going to stretch forward as far as you can. If you want to grab your feet, or if you can't, you grab your calves, that works too. As this gets more comfortable, start straightening the legs a little bit more as you go. And probably every 20 seconds, try and straighten out a little bit more. And we're going to hold that whole stretch for about a minute. That's the end of this video. Ooh, I almost fell down. Great job working on these workouts, guys. I hope you enjoyed them over break. And if you're not watching them over break, watch them all right now. And I won't be posting anything over Christmas through New Year's, but then I will see you guys back for winter quarter and some more workouts. So, bye!